All right, we're rolling. It's Joel and Bryan with Interactive Trader and the second video in our series of random questions. So these are questions that have been submitted to us by you guys. And if you have any other questions, feel free to post them in the comments, send us a message on Facebook, and we'll answer any questions that we can. Question number one, Bryan, I'm going to let you handle this one first. How do you handle the emotions involved with trading?
That is a good question. I usually try to keep my office door shut and the lights down as I cry after a few trades. And then I try to get myself back on track with my trading plan. So really what it comes down to, if I'm going to avoid emotions, I have to have something solid, something specific to follow. I have a trade plan and I know how often I'm going to win, approximately how often I'm going to lose. So really what I actually try to do is take the emotions out by just following that boring plan. What about you, Joel?
For me, trading's always been emotional, and I don't think the emotions are ever going to go away, no matter how good my plan is. I do think having a plan is a critical part in that. But I'm just, I guess, an emotional person anyway, and very competitive. I hate losing. And so there's two things I've discovered. Number one is you have to learn just to deal with the emotions. They're going to be there. You're going to be emotional about trading. It is emotional. Having a good plan, something that you have a lot of faith in, something that you're consistent with, will help you understand that, hey, it's okay that I lost this because I'm going to have X number of winners following it up, because that's what normally happens. Also, trading small. Trading small is a huge part of controlling emotions. Most people that we talk to, when they're getting really, really emotional, it's because they've been risking way too much money. So kind of a follow-up question to that actually is, how do you stay motivated after a big loss, Bryan? You just got killed in the market. How do you stay motivated?
Well, like you, I try to keep it so I don't have a big loss by management, but it still happens once in a while. Sometimes I put together something that I know I'm taking a bigger risk, and the way, if the market drops considerably or skyrockets up, I'm going to be in trouble. So staying motivated after that, I know for you, Joel, it's mostly anger. Like you throw things around, you got to get back on top. What I try to do is again, kind of go back to the plan, recognize how many times I should win, figure out how long it should take to get me back on track here. But I try to focus on what I could change in the next trade so that big loss doesn't look, so it doesn't become a complete and total waste. I want to learn from that. I want to figure out what I could tweak so that I don't make that mistake next time.
Yeah, I think one of the first things you have to master in trading is how to not lose money. That's more important than making money, guys.
That's the next question, by the way. How to master it.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Well, we'll ask that one too then. How long does it take to master trading? Again, the first thing you have to learn is how to not lose money. Trading small helps you avoid those big losses. That's how I deal with avoiding big losses or staying motivated after big losses is I don't have them anymore. Now I have a lot in the past. I've had some pretty spectacular losses. And so I understand the shame, the anger, the disappointment, all of that comes with a big loss. But staying small and learning to not lose money is the first step towards that second question, which is how long does it take to master trading? And guys, there's really no answer to that. We're always learning. We're still learning. I've been doing this for a couple of decades, and I am still learning new things every week about trading. The market's constantly changing. If we change that question to how long does it take to become competent trading, that might be a little bit better. Bryan, you want to talk about that?
Well, I certainly like that better because, like you say, we're always trying to learn and try to figure out new things, and we're always building. But, honestly, if we took away probably the last 3 years of things we've done, we'd still be pretty stable traders. The things we're learning now are making very small percentage changes, I would say. And so I don't think you need to be at our level to trade well or successfully. If you can get in there, and I would say in a perfect scenario, if I was totally in control of your situation, I would say trade 30 trades of every single strategy and reevaluate them 10 trades at a time. Adjust your rules, do another 10, adjust your rules, do another 10. By that point, if you've traded every strategy 30 times, reevaluated, looked at it very well, I think you'd be well on your way to being a competent trader. It wouldn't be a time frame so much as just being able to place that many trades. That'd be my goal for others.
Yeah, I can go with that. I think that's good logic. Experience, there's no replacement for experience. There's no substitute for actually being in trading. And you can get that experience paper trading, which is a beautiful thing. When Bryan and I first started, there weren't the paper trading accounts like we have nowadays. Paper trading is a beautiful thing. Learn that way, make tons of mistakes paper trading, and you'll be, I think you'll be pleased with how quickly you become a competent trader as long as you keep putting the effort in. All right, Bryan, for you, what are the worst mistakes you see traders make over and over again? What are the worst mistakes?
Biggest mistake is I've still got lots of time in this trade, so I'm going to see if it'll turn around and come back out.
One more day, Bryan.
One more day. I know my rule says this, but I've got a lot of time.
But the chart looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it might look better tomorrow. So that seems to be one of the biggest ones I see and one of the common things I hear. Another mistake is this market can't keep going this direction. It has to turn around. And so I'm going to start trading the other direction because I saw an article, or I feel like we're overextended and it's time for it to turn around. So whether it's going up or down, anticipating and deciding what's going to happen next is another big mistake. Those are my two biggest. What do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that, but thinking the future. This market's gotta crash because of blah, 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 blah. I can't keep going up. And that causes two things. First of all, you miss out on the run up. And second of all, you lose money because you're going bearish when you shouldn't be, and vice versa in down markets. We've seen that in down markets too. So thinking the future, confirmation bias, right? Only looking at the data that backs up what that supports your investing hypothesis. That's a huge, huge mistake. The other mistake I see a lot is people who cut their winners short. Like maybe your rule in a vertical credit spread is, hey, I take profit at 80%, and you just start taking it at 70% just because. Or instead of rolling a long call, you get out because you don't like the way a candle looks. Not missing out on the big winners because you're scared. That's another mistake that I see traders making a lot. Anything else to add on that one?
I feel like we could have done this whole thing with stick to your rules.
That is true. We could have answered all of these questions with stick to your rules. Next question. Can you go through the process of becoming an independent full-time trader?
I got this. Yes, stick to your rules. Yeah, this almost goes back to you've got to get that competence down, right? You've got to be able to get through these trades, get a lot of experience with them. I still like my 30 trade rule on every strategy. And if you go through there and you do 30 trades on every strategy that you're interested in and you're losing money on them, guess what? You're not ready to become an independent full-time trader. But as you go through that and you start to see, hey, I'm making progress. This 10 trades that I just did was better than the last 10. I'm seeing reasons to tweak and adjust. Then you're well on your way. You need to journal and track what's happening and make sure you change the things in your rules that aren't working after the trades are done, not before the trades are done.
So a few milestones I think you have to hit in order to become like an independent full-time trader. Again, don't lose money, right? Learn how to not lose money. That's rule number one. According to Warren Buffett, it's rules number 1 and 2. Develop a plan and stick with it. If you can't pay your bills, you can't be a full-time trader. So that's kind of a milestone. When you get to the point where you can pay all of your bills through trading, however long that takes you, then that's a major milestone. And make sure that before you try to, before you run out and quit your job saying I'm just going to be a full-time trader, make sure that you actually can trade and can pay your bills, right? This is not something that I would ever recommend taking a leap into, because of that first question we talked about, which is the emotions of trading, right? If now all of a sudden you don't have a job and your ability to pay your bills is dependent on your trading, it's going to be really hard to trade and not follow your emotions and make those emotional mistakes. So I think that's a key milestone there, is when can you trade enough to pay your bills? And as far as how long it takes you to get there, there's way too many variables for us to even touch on that. I mean, how much money are you starting with? How much time do you have in a day? How competent are you? How quickly do you learn? How well do you handle the emotions? It's a different process for everybody. Also, being an independent full-time trader, honestly, if that's all you did, it might be kind of boring. So hopefully you've got something else you want to do with your life besides just trade. I mean, I love trading. Don't get me wrong. I don't get bored trading. But hopefully your goal is to do something with your life, not just trade with your life. Any other thoughts on that, Bryan?
I don't know why you're so down on trading. I'm totally fine if you just want to trade and make money with your life.
Okay. On that note, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for being part of our family. Thanks for being part of our team. Stay safe, have fun, and go make some money.